Hey there, this is Joe with Trot and Munch, and it's time for another video update with my Midori Traveler's Notebook. If you're one of the, 10 or 20 people who have been following this series, I apologize that I haven't posted an update in a while. I just moved to Germany last month, and so I was pretty busy with that, and my living situation was kind of uncertain for a while. But now things have kind of calmed down, and I am sedentary for a bit, and it won't be so challenging to make some videos. And quick clarification about something I messed up in my earlier videos. I've been referring to this right here as my Midori or my Midori Traveler's Notebook, and that terminology isn't quite correct. These are Traveler's Notebooks from the Traveler's company. Midori used to be what they were called. Basically, if I give a quick overview, the Midori is a Japanese paper company that's existed for a while, and a few years ago they came out with this special notebook, and the producers who came up with the idea of the notebook, they eventually split from Midori and created the Traveler's Company. And as far as I know, they now exclusively produce these notebooks and the inserts. I think Midori maybe still provides some of the paper for the inserts, but these are no longer Midori's notebooks. And I actually accidentally acknowledged this when on my first video, when I noticed that this says Traveler's Notebook and Traveler's Company instead of Midori. It used to say Midori here, but now these are only produced by Traveler's Company and they no longer say Midori. So I know people still say Midori Traveler's Notebooks just because, that was part of its history. And I'm still going to refer to this as my Midori, probably just because it's easy, or my Midori Traveler's Notebook if I really want to be fair. But I just want to clarify that because I didn't know, and it's really confusing. But just in case you want to buy one of these or whatnot, I mean, if you look at Midori, you may have a hard time finding it. It's the Traveler's Notebook. So anyways, now that we're done with that, let's actually check out my Midori Traveler's Notebook and how it's come along. I'm just going to try to give a quick overview of some of the new inserts and how I've been using the inserts I had and have gotten, because last time I added some, but I hadn't really actually been using my notebook. But since then, I have. And so I'll just go from the front to the back. And first we have these little plastic sleeves that I've added, one in the front and one in the back. And then this one here. They come in a set, including those three pieces. And this one I think you can use for whatever you want, but it's like a business card size. And I'm using it to put my contact information in case I lose this guy and some kind soul wants to make the effort to return it to me. I'm going to add my German address on here. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, just basic contact information. And then these little pockets I like to use just for temporary storage, I guess, like a holding pen for things that I don't yet know where to place. Like this, I just picked up randomly at a cafe, and I don't think I'll actually keep it in here, but I just wanted to hold on to it, and so it was useful for that. It was also good while I was going from the US, coming here, flying. And of course I had tickets, and I would keep them in here, and they were easy to access, and they were safe. And so though I really like those side pockets. This insert I showed in my last video, plastic storage insert, and I just have a quote from Dr. Seuss that I've had for a long time and just stuck it in there. And yeah, so this is the insert that came with the starter kit with the notebook initially, and a blank page insert. And I had already decorated and talked about that, and since then I've just been using it for, before I left to go to Germany, I was making a list of items to pack, and then since coming here I've kind of just been using it for random lists, German words I've learned, really just mundane things. This was a game jam I went to this weekend, and I just needed paper to do notes and draw pictures, so that's what I used it for. So this isn't my favorite insert. I'm not crazy about blank pages. I prefer lined or graph paper. And I'd prefer for this notebook to be a little more special, more specific in its use, and not just for mundane note-taking. But so far, I don't know how else to use this insert. So that's how it's going to be for now. Of course, it is good sometimes just when you're traveling to have paper, but blank paper. But that's really the most travel-related it's been so far, this packing list. And so moving on, this is also a new insert I got, the Kraft folder. There are lots of tutorials online showing you how to make these yourself. If you have craft supplies and the will, I had neither, so I just bought it. And mine is the simple color, but I think the appeal of making your own is you can use different pattern paper, and of course it's cheaper. But this was about, I think, $7 or $8, and so I just got it. And that's in the center, and it's great for storage. These are, we'll get to the next insert about showing how I may use them. But these are some things I've picked up since coming to Berlin. That's the game jam I went to, and a ticket from Berlinale, the film festival. That happened last month. So I definitely want to journal about those experiences, and I'll use these. You'll see in a moment how I will use them. But for now, I'm storing them in here. And then the other items in here, I mentioned in my first video how I just kind of want to be able to have an archive for some precious travel items that are kind of awkward to store otherwise, like maps or my Euro pass or tickets or, I don't know, random brochures. And for now, they're in here. And of course, the space is limited. I can't store things in here forever, but so far it's working out okay. And then I can, pull them out and see them if I'd like to. And so yeah, that's that insert. Then my second paper insert is the graph paper, which I have been journaling in. So just to give a sense of what I'm doing here, like for example, in January, I visited my friend in Colorado, and so I just did some notes about my experience from that experience, and like a business card from a cute tea shop we went to, or an ice cream shop, or some ticket for the train, just random items that I picked up and that I stapled in here, clipped, and then my thoughts about the experience and where we went and the memories, and then with the label Colorado and the entries dated. And then here I wrote about my trip to Taipei, which I took around this time last year. I think it was last June. And I had a really good time, and I never really journaled about it, never really recorded my thoughts. And so obviously it's been a while, but I just took the time to go back and, to give my impressions of Taipei. And that was really nice. I'm still working on that. But, and then back to the present, here we are with Berlin and some things that have been going on here. The thing with Berlin is that I'm trying to stay here long term. I'm not just a tourist. I'm not just passing through. And I have my everyday journal that I put my more personal, just everyday thoughts in. And so I'm not going to be writing everything that happens here. This is more just for specific special experiences like Berlinale, or this game jam that I went to, that I have mementos from, or that I just want to remember and write about. Like this paper store that I went to, and I got a cool postcard and some cool washi tape, or a poetry reading I went to and recollected, and yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to be doing that. These still need to be added, but yeah, that's that insert. And then finally we have the other end of that plastic insert here with more storage, some of my cat clips and assorted stickers. A cool postcard from the Denver Zoo. But that's about it. That's how I've been. It's mostly, I think the star of the show is this insert, the graph paper insert. Like I really enjoy journaling in here. It feels really good to write and to add my little paper goods in there. And yeah, I'm not crazy about the blank insert, but it's fine. And yeah, that's where we're at now with my Midori Traveler's Notebook. Yeah, it's got a little bit more wear and tear on the outside. But I typically carry this most places I go, just in case I have little items that I want to store in it. And it's been a pretty consistent companion of mine since I got it. It's not super light, but it does okay. And yeah, that's where we're at. Thanks for watching. It'll probably be a little while before I do another video update about this, just because I imagine it won't change that much anytime soon, but, or maybe it will. We'll see. If it does, I'll definitely post about it. But thanks so much for watching, and if you'd be so kind, you could, always subscribe. I have to shoehorn that in at the end. But I appreciate any feedback you have as well. I hope maybe this is helpful for and giving you inspiration for your Midori. And sometimes it's just cool to see what other people are up to. So feel free to give feedback, or I don't know, share links to your journals so I could see some other people's. But yeah, thanks. Take care.